I flipped through my notes until I didn't need them anymore. One night, I left the studio around sunset, but the sun exited more quickly than I'd planned. I was a few blocks from home, passing the neon pink glow of the liquor store, when a man in a silver car pulled over. Not now, I thought. I don't feel like it. I heard the window roll down. "Let me give you a ride." He was smiling, as if he'd arrived in a golden chariot instead of a small Chevy the color of a foil gum wrapper. He was so excited, like we were long-lost friends, and he was elated to see me. I couldn't believe the width of his smile, so confident. I started filming, took 3 long strides toward his car, bending over and putting my head into his window. In the video, you can hear me asking, "What'd you say?" Inviting him to say it again for the record. He replied, "Come in, let me give you a ride." "Get in your car? Are you fucking crazy? Why would I ever do that?" I said. My voice was so flighty and high-pitched I hardly recognized it. "Fuck you," I said. I remember how quickly his smile evaporated, like a drop of water on hot pavement, how fast he turned the wheel and accelerated away. Good, I thought. But my limbs started shaking, all that adrenaline. I walked unsteadily to the crosswalk. I looked at the stopped cars, trying to make eye contact with the drivers. If he comes back, are you going to help me? Do you see me? As the little glowing man of the crosswalk illuminated, I began running, panting to the tempo of my backpack slapping against my back. The police found 548 rounds of unspent ammunition inside his car that he never had time to use. 6 classmates had been stolen from us. Elliot the 7th. I do not include the victims' names here, for names are sacred, and I do not want them identified solely by what he did to them. A month after my assault, I stepped out of work, unable to focus. I walked down the carpeted hallway, unlocking the supply closet to crouch behind the routers and chairs with broken wheels. I called the detective. "I was just wondering," I said. "I know this sounds strange, but do you think Brock would ever hurt me?" I clarified. "I went to a school where a guy got really angry. There was a shooting." I didn't know how to ask my question. He didn't know how to answer it. "There's no way of knowing," the detective said, "but hopefully not, and we are working hard to get a hold on things." Right, of course, I thought. I felt crazy. What was I looking to hear? "You're safe forever?" I didn't bring it up again, but it was a strange feeling, having never met the man I was now up against. I had no idea who he was or what he was capable of. I never forgot one of the opening lines of Eliot's 137-page manifesto. "This is a story of how I, Elliot Rodger, came to be. This tragedy did not have to happen, but humanity forced my hand." His cruelty had a narrative arc. He spoke like he had never wanted to do what he did. He was pushed to, and it was women who had made him suffer, who left him no choice but to execute his day of retribution. In his video, he'd said, "I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires, all because girls have never been attracted to me." His hostility was born of entitlement, self-pity. "I will punish all females for the crime of depriving me of sex." In Eliot's world, the unspoken law was that women owed him sex. We existed only to receive him. Those were the rules, that was our purpose. Sex was his right and our responsibility. The punishment in his world for breaking his laws, for rejecting sex, was death. When headlines first broke after the assault, Brock's smiling photo accompanied every article. Unfair that he is publicly shamed while she gets to hide, commenters said. Why would I want to humiliate him when I'd seen what it could lead to? As the months passed, I grew weary. He was out of school, I was out of work. We had both been untethered from society, aimlessly drifting. All those empty days. You change, you forget to eat, you don't know how to sleep, you drift far from yourself. What if in the time I was growing depressed, he was growing resentful? I asked if he was seeing a therapist, and nobody could tell me. College is the time when everyone experiences those things such as sex and fun and pleasure, Elliot said. In those years, I've had to rot in loneliness. It's not fair. You forced me to suffer all my life. Now I will make you all suffer. Everyone needed someone to blame. He and I were both in some kind of pain, but what type of violence could his pain ignite? I could not live with myself if he hurt anybody. I contemplated it obsessively. What if he was angry at Stanford and wreaked havoc on campus? What if he really did believe his life was over and committed suicide? You deserve to be annihilated, and I will give that to you. You never showed me any mercy, so I will show you none. Whatever he did, I would feel responsible, although I knew it was out of my control. I wanted accountability and punishment, but I also hoped he was getting better. I didn't fight to end him. I fought to convert him to my side. I wanted him to understand, to acknowledge the harm his actions had caused and reform himself. If he truly believed his future was ruined and he had nothing to lose, the possibilities were terrifying. The scenarios multiplied in my head. I'd lodged wooden planks in my windows to seal them tight. I checked the backyard, looked for feet beneath shrubs. I hated how close I was to Ohio. He could come find me, could take the train. I turned off location tracking, deleted social media. I looked up gun laws. Elliot had legally purchased 3 semi-automatic handguns, fully loaded magazines, as easily as one buys grapefruit. I was losing my mind. What if the hearing was a trap? I imagined shootouts outside the courthouse, chaos erupting, ducking behind car doors, splintered windows, bailiffs sprinting, blood pouring out of bodies. I did not know whether this was reasonable or insane, just knew that insane things were possible. I shook my head. Hang up, it's time, he motioned again. I looked at him. Tiff, can I call you back? Thanks. I stood up. What'd you say? It's time for your call, he said. You think I don't know I have a call at 5 o'clock? He was still. What, you think I can't tell fucking time? That I can't see the fucking time on the fucking stove? That you get to decide when I can and cannot talk to my sister? Hey, who was there that night? You? No? Who? Oh, her? That's right. You know what kind of shit she's going through? I will take every call from her. Every fucking call from her. You want to help me? You think sitting here is fucking helping me? My anger came pouring out, vile and immediate. My voice rose as if someone else's hand was steadily turning the dial. He backed away, stood transfixed across the room, staring at me, scared of me. I was scared of me too. My words bled freely with nothing to clot them. How could you know anything about what this is like? What the hell can you do about it? I slammed my phone onto the counter. We both heard it break. The screen had not cracked, but shattered, glass spilling onto the stools, the floor. Humiliated, I screamed at him to get out. He offered me his phone. I said, "Get out." He paused. "I'll be downstairs if you need me." And the door clicked shut behind him. Trembling, I ran to grab a sock from my drawer, slipped it over my hand, used it to push my shattered phone into a Ziploc bag. I locked myself in the bathroom with his list of questions and curled over my knees on the bath mat,